What Cleetus McFarland just did in Bristol will change everything. And I mean everything. It was not intended to be like this. When Cleetus McFarland, YouTube's wildest gearhead, rolled into Bristol Motor Speedway, spectators expected another viral prank. Maybe some fireworks, a burnout or two, a chaotic wreck, and then it's on to the next meme. But what did we get instead? It was something else entirely. What Cleetus did at the last Great Coliseum was more than just another race. It marked a watershed moment, a harsh reality check, a sign that this bizarre transition from YouTube popularity to serious NASCAR dreams is more than a joke, it's a fight. Cleetus just suffered a full-speed punch to the jaw. Let me clarify, Cleetus McFarland, actual name Garrett Mitchell, has spent the past year pursuing a dream that most people laugh at. He's entered ARCA races with little experience but a lot of desire. He's competed in Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, and now Bristol. And if you know Bristol, you know it's more than simply a short track. It is a concrete blender, a bull ring. It's a nightmare if you're even half a second off your mark. And that's where Cleetus elected to make his debut ARCA short track start. The challenge was real, but what is the end result? That's when the story gets gritty. Cleetus began the night at 20th. Not bad, not outstanding, but Bristol is a risky place to be, right in the midst of the pandemonium, and anarchy ensued quickly. The race began with a devastating collision involving Andrew Patterson and Takuma Koga. Cleetus took a front row seat. He avoided it. That moment alone revealed something. He wasn't here to screw around. He came here to learn, survive, and maybe even compete. But there is where Bristol humbled him. Fast. As the laps went on, Cleetus began to slip behind. By the halfway point, he was 18th, 2 laps down. With only 50 circuits to remaining, he was 17th and 3 laps down. Brent Cruz, the race leader, was flying, and Cleetus, he was simply trying to cling on. Despite being a few laps down, he continued to battle. And with 25 laps remaining, he battled his way into 16th place. It was not flashy, but it was tough. That's when the next blow struck. The tire, the cursed tire. With just over 20 laps remaining, Cleetus felt something. The right front tire was becoming mushy. It wasn't a full-blown leak, but just enough to cause havoc. I felt it coming out from under me, he later explained. That's when he touched the outside wall. Nothing significant, but enough to derail the momentum. There was no caution issued. There's no theatrical twist for the cameras, just quiet damage, the sort that hurts more because nobody notices. His crew hurried to repair it. They brought him back out, but he was now 7 laps behind. From the 16th to the 19th in a blink, and that's where he finished. 19th position, his worst ARCA finish to date. For someone accustomed to YouTube victories and fan cheers, this was a harsh reminder of racing reality. However, it was more than just a horrible night. Cleetus made no excuses after the race. He blamed neither the tire, the car, nor the track. He stood in front of the camera, looked everyone in the eye, and stated, "Bristol humbled me quick. It's a whole different animal." That's when the narrative altered. Because when an influencer loses, they usually disappear. But not Cleetus. Instead, he verified something unusual, something serious. He's not finished. He made it clear that he will return for more. Next season's ARCA race schedule will include 8-10 races. Not only that, but he's set on playing in the major leagues. The dream is the Daytona 500, he said, referring to 2027 or 2028. Think about it. This guy, who built his name with burnout contests and engine swaps, now wants to compete in the world's most famous NASCAR race. And the problem is, he might just pull it off. So how does a YouTuber, a person best known for blowing up engines and screaming, "Hell yeah, brother," make the leap from internet celebrity to NASCAR's largest stage? It does not happen by chance, and it certainly does not happen without taking hits like the one he just received at Bristol. What Cleetus McFarland is doing is not only outstanding, it is almost unprecedented. He's not a privileged child with a silver spoon or a former karting champion. He's a person who built his platform from the ground up, one burnout and turbocharger at a time. And now, he's attempting to restore himself as a legitimate racer, a serious one. Take a closer look at his adventure so far. His first ARCA race was at Daytona, which is a terrible place to make your debut. He was involved in a multi-car crash and finished 30th. Brutal. However, he refused to give up. He returned at Talladega and achieved a top 10. Then at Charlotte, he survived a crazy restart and finished 10th. These outcomes were not coincidental. They were the result of someone grinding, listening, and learning. Someone who values this more than the spotlight. And don't forget, he isn't doing this alone. He's got legitimate help. Greg Biffle, a former NASCAR star, has been mentoring him. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., he's also been keeping an eye on Cleetus. That's not just a show of clout. That's advice from legends who understand how difficult this world is. Cleetus may be the face, but he is supported by a growing network of racers who feel he has what it takes to go far. That is why what occurred in Bristol mattered, because it revealed something raw. Not just a highlight reel, not simply the edited viral video, but the anguish, the grind, the pain of knowing you gave your all and it still wasn't enough. Cleetus said it himself, "I got my butt kicked." There is no spin on that, just be honest. What about that honesty? It's what distinguishes him from the imposters. Remember that over 35,000 people watched him live on YouTube during the race. That is more than some ARCA events receive in overall TV viewership. NASCAR saw those figures, sponsors saw the numbers, fans recognized a guy who could attract new fans while still respecting the sport. And that is the secret sauce. Cleetus is not here to screw around. He's here to combine fun with effort. Flash will battle. He's on a tightrope, and each race is either one step closer to greatness or a plunge right off the edge. So, was Bristol a step forward or backward? That is the question. On paper, finishing 19th and 7 laps down indicates failure. However, when you consider the big picture, it is quite different. It is a lesson, a spark. Perhaps even the fuel for the fire he'll need to keep going as the buzz fades and the grind becomes even more difficult. Because the road to the Daytona 500 is more than simply lengthy, it's brutal. Most folks don't make it past the first few turns. What about Cleetus McFarland? He is not like most folks. He has previously stated that he intends to compete in 8 to 10 ARCA events in 2026. This means extra seat time, more short tunes, more opportunities to make mistakes, as well as more opportunities to make correct decisions. What if he keeps climbing? Xfinity is not out of the question, and from there, who knows? Perhaps that dream, that Daytona dream, is not as far away as it appears. Bristol might have beaten him down, but it did not break him, and that's why this race altered everything. Because it demonstrated something that no viral video could ever replicate. Cleetus McFarland is all in. What if he keeps pushing, learning, and showing up? The world best get ready, because we could be witnessing the strangest underdog story NASCAR has seen in decades. But what are your thoughts? Is Cleetus genuinely on his way to the Daytona 500? Or did Bristol demonstrate that he is completely out of his depth? Please let me know in the comments below. This struggle is only getting begun.